I built my career on prediction. I told these fighters that I was facing what I'm going to do, how I'm going to do it, and when I'm going to do it. And the perfect scenario. And then as I went on, and only that, and I would obsessively visualize the most perfect scenario. And 99% of the time it happened. And then that one time it didn't, or that 1% it didn't happen. So now as I've become a lot more experienced in the game, I actually work backwards towards the perfect scenario. So I have had a limb break inside the octagon. So now I must have an answer to that. I have a whole selection of responses to the worst case scenarios. Now, not that I sit and dwell on them, or overthink them, but I just have them. So if the ankle goes, if the knee goes, if the shoulder goes, what's my response? Because the fight's not over.
No.
Until if you give, it's over. So if you have a maneuver, you know, you can outlast and you can survive in there and then get towards the victory. So I have found, as I have gotten more experience in the fight game, to work my way backwards from the worst case scenario to the best case scenario.
Do you expect Conor now, after all these years off and the injury after the leg and all that, to look similar to like how Nate did, or is this something are we going to see a revised Conor McGregor?
Yeah, I don't think Conor's gonna look as bad as Nate, bro. That was really bad. The thing that I think the punching power is gonna be there regardless. Conor's gonna come back from the injury and still have that natural punching power. What the question for me is the timing, the athleticism, the movement, all those questions need to be answered. I don't know. You know, we haven't seen him, so I don't know if his counter punching and his timing is anywhere near what it was. He has a chance to beat Max, you know? Yeah. Look, I love Max, but the career he's had and the longevity he's had, he's touched the canvas in his last 3 fights more, you know, that's more than he's touched in his entire career. I just think time's catching up with him. He's still a young man, but he's taking a lot of shots. And Conor can punch, man. You know, like, no matter how long he's been out, he still has the great equalizer, and that's power.
Conor McGregor's long-awaited return to the UFC has become one of the most debated topics in mixed martial arts, and as fight fans around the world prepare for a potential rematch with Max Holloway, questions continue to swirl regarding what version of the Notorious will step back into the octagon. Over the years, McGregor built a reputation not only for his knockout power but also for his ability to predict exactly how his fights would unfold. According to the former champion, he spent much of his career obsessively visualizing the perfect scenario and then executing it almost.
Now, if I was Conor, I would mix in takedowns again, like he did in their first fight. And please do not take the bait, let your pride come up, you know, you're only going to strike. No. I mean, Oliveira beat Max with his grappling. Then again, Oliveira has really great takedowns, but Conor's, to tell you the truth, aren't really that bad at all. And then there's another question. How long has he been training again? Did he ever stop training? I hope he didn't. Now, Holloway might win this fight when Conor is thinking too much about what happened in between their first fight and this fight. Personally, I believe he can shake that off. I mean, this guy is used to dealing with a lot of pressure. He also is still in his prime. I believe he's 37 right now, which is a still strong age. Max is coming in much better than he did last time. Lots of experience against great fighters, as I mentioned. He matured a lot. Not
flawlessly on fight night. However, as experience accumulated and injuries became part of his journey, his approach evolved. Rather than focusing solely on ideal outcomes, McGregor began preparing for worst-case scenarios, ensuring he had answers for every possible setback. This mentality may prove crucial as he attempts to return from one of the longest layoffs of his professional career. While many believe McGregor's natural punching power remains intact, several respected fighters and analysts have raised concerns about whether his timing, movement, reflexes, and overall athletic sharpness can survive years away from active competition. Dustin Poirier, who knows McGregor better than most, believes the Irishman will always possess the great equalizer that made him famous, his devastating knockout power.
You know, it has to, like, this Conor McGregor fight in July is going to be fucking bananas. It's going to be bananas. I mean, people are going to go crazy for the return of Conor McGregor because he's a giant personality.
But don't expect the same.
How could it be?
You just can't.
He hasn't fought in 5 years.
It's
been 5
and
years.
but that's the problem.
It might be more.
Because they're going to all expect that.
I think it is a little over 5. It's almost 6, I think.
It might be 6 at the time of the fight.
It might be.
I think it's 5.
I think it's 5 right now.
Are we expecting to see a Conor that looked like Nate this last fight? Or are we expecting to see a better Conor than someone that looked like Nate? Because Nate did not look good.
No,
but
Mike Perry did.
And
Mike Perry looked like a fucking murderer.
You know what I mean? Like
Mike Perry is a murderer.
He's a murderer.
And this is
such a savage.
You take a look at that, and when you're taking an older fighter, which Nate is now, and you're
21. You're 5 fucking years ago, July. So it literally will be 6 years.
Yep.
Yeah.
But when you're
it'll be 5 years. It'll be 5 years.
When you're taking a younger fighter and putting them against the old dog, it normally doesn't end well for the old dog.
Well, the thing is about Max Holloway is like Max Holloway isn't
he's young.
that much younger
than
Some analysts argue that this relentless activity could become the deciding factor when the two fighters meet again. Others believe that McGregor's unique skill set and championship experience could allow him to overcome any disadvantages. One strategic adjustment repeatedly suggested by experts involves McGregor's wrestling. During their first meeting years ago, McGregor surprised many observers by incorporating takedowns into his game after suffering an injury during the fight. Rather than relying solely on his striking, he adapted and used his grappling skills to secure victory.
He's not.
But the thing is, Max has been in constant high-level competition the entire time. Won the BMF fight, beat Dustin, like constant high-level competition.
That's right.
It's a different thing.
And I honestly believe him at 155 is the best thing for him.
Absolutely.
Max,
but he's not 155 in this fight.
This is
170.
170.
But honestly, he might be better.
No weight cutting at all.
Just no weight cut, just kind of walk around.
And also, knowing this is such a high-profile fight, Max is always in insane shape. But in particularly in this fight, he's going to be in fucking insane shape.
And his last fight, he took almost...
Veterans such as BAS Rutten believe McGregor would be wise to revisit that approach in a rematch. Rather than engaging in a pure striking battle against Holloway's endless volume and pressure, mixing in takedowns could disrupt Holloway's rhythm and force him to think defensively. This possibility becomes even more relevant when considering how successful grapplers have historically managed to slow Holloway's offense. However, critics question whether McGregor has maintained the consistency necessary to preserve all aspects of his game. Training footage shared on social media has generated
that was such a crazy moment when McGregor just fought Mayweather. Yeah. That was something we just haven't seen before. What a super fight.
Actually, a big move for Conor.
Yeah. That changed his life to a different world.
When they made that happen. Yeah. I don't know if his life was changed in a positive way since that fight, but anyways.
Man, I think as a fight fan, I wanted to see Conor just continue to take it so serious and continue to just be a great man. I think that moment was so
I think
different.
he's taken seriously now, like his training sessions.
Yeah, I've seen his training sessions. It looks like he's locked in.
Yeah, it looks like. You never know. When we see things in social media, we never know the truth behind that. Because he could be training in the morning and partying at night. But
optimism among supporters, showing glimpses of the explosive athlete who once dominated multiple weight classes. Yet social media clips can only reveal so much. As several analysts have pointed out, nobody truly knows what happens behind the scenes. McGregor may appear locked in during training sessions, but only fight night will reveal whether those sessions have translated into genuine competitive readiness. The conversation surrounding McGregor's comeback inevitably returns to his famous boxing match against Floyd Mayweather. That event changed the trajectory of his career forever, elevating him into a global superstar and generating unprecedented wealth. Some observers believe the success of that crossover bout altered McGregor's priorities, reducing the hunger that once drove him toward greatness.
Basically, you got to have a plan A, a plan B, a plan C. And that's just a fact, because there's so many different ways to skin the cat to win a mixed martial arts contest. And to be fair, McGregor showed that in his first fight against Max Holloway. If you recall, he was going out, he was looking really good, he was looking smooth on the feet, he was clearly winning the fight, but then he tore his ACL. So in the third round, he took down Max Holloway. So that was a prime example of what Conor's talking about there, having a plan A and having a plan B, right? It's like a lot of fighters go out there, their initial approach isn't successful. That's where this really differs from kickboxing or boxing. Boxing, you got punches to the head, you got punches to the body. This is a whole different beast, okay? If that ain't working, right, then you've got to try something else. You can push them up against the fence. You can try and use your kicks. You can try and use calf kicks, head kicks, whatever. Mix those up, push him up